Hello everyone. Welcome. My name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper. If you do not know, I am a full-time reseller coming up on 3 years. I am an RN, but I quit nursing back in 2022 to do this full-time. So this video today is absolutely one of my favorite to do, and that's high dollar only what sold. I'm going to show you over 25 sales of mine that sold for over $50. So if you're looking for a way to raise your average sales price, this is definitely going to teach you some things to keep an eye out for. And I'm going to tell you how much I paid. I will tell you where I got it, and I will tell you how long it took to sell. So you have a little bit of an idea of kind of all the logistics of it. So let's go ahead, take a look at 25 of my items that have sold in the last 2 weeks. These are all recent for over $50. All right, first up is this vintage woven circle handmade Uzbek tribal silk embroidered kufi hat. This one did sell for full price of $55.99. This one we have had over a year, but I only paid $1. So this one is actually about a $45 profit. And this is a small hat, doesn't take up a lot of space. So if I happen to come across a lot of these Uzbek hats again, I would definitely pick it up. Next up was a really fast sale. This is a Knickerbocker rubber face baby doll plush musical chime red roly-poly vintage, sold for $54.99 in under a week. Very fast, not in the best of condition, but not bad. So this one I got in an online plush lot. I am less than $5 into this. It is about a $45 profit. And again, this bad boy sold very fast. Next up is another fast sale of Pokemon. This is Pokemon Alakazam and Cramorant. It was 2 boxes. They sold for $54.99. They sold in under a month. And I showed you guys a lot of Pokemon in the regular what sold video. Definitely keep an eye out for these. I had these in my house and I rarely find them, but depending on your area, you might be able to locate some. Next up is a ring that is sold really fast twice. This is a vintage sterling silver ring, red dragon's breath oval cabochon, size 7. And this one sold twice in under a month. Really fast. Sold for best offer. I sent out of $62.99, which is 10% off. I paid $10 for this, so it's about a $45 profit. It sold, it was returned, and now it is sold again. Next up is one I think a lot of people pass over, and that is Polish pottery. So this is Bolswaic, and this one sold for full price in about 6 months. So kind of a mid-range as far as sell-through rate, but I picked it up for just a couple of dollars. So it's over a $45 profit. It is not a really big plate, so not difficult to ship, but 9-inch plate, $55 sale. Next up is another mid-range one. This one was listed back in July, so about 6 months to sell. This one sold for $69.99, which is another offer. Again, I sent out. I do send off 30% offers when they have been listed for more than 3 months. And this is a Burberry's, just a little small shoulder purse. You can see here the Burberry's of London, made in Turkey. This one I got in a purse lot, and I actually only paid $10 for it, so it's about a $45 profit. Up next is a vintage brass Hanukkah 9-branch Star of David. This is a menorah candle holder, and this one didn't take short time. This one took a year to sell, but it sold for $64.99, and I only paid $5. So this one's actually over a $50 profit. I love picking up brass, but a lot of it is longer tail. So for those of you that don't have a lot of space, I would probably skip over the majority of brass items. Next up is another mid-range, and this one was listed back in May, so about 7 months for this one to sell. but jewelry doesn't take up a ton of space. This one sold for $99. That is a 30% off offer I sent out. I am only about $10 in. So this one's about a $75 profit. Beautiful, beautiful ring. It can be hard to get jewelry pictures in focus when I'm looking at them here on the big screen. They are not perfectly in focus, but this was a really, really good $100 sale. And I do want to point out, it was a size 5¼ So this was a very small ring, and a lot of your true vintage or antique rings are going to be around that size 5. Next up is another jewelry item that took a while to sell. This one was listed in March. So this one took 9 months to sell, and it actually sold after Christmas. This one did not sell before. This is a beautiful Eisenberg Ice Christmas tree brooch, and it did sell for full price, and I paid $10. So it's about a $75 profit. You can see the Eisenberg Ice there. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece. So I honestly was very surprised that this one took as long as it did to sell. Next up is a fast selling jewelry item. This one sold in under a month. So I told you guys before, Southwest and turquoise does very well for me. This one is a vintage sterling silver web turquoise statement ring. It's a size 11. This is a big ring, and this one sold for $99.99 in under a month. Very, very fast. I am about $25 in. So this one is about a $65 profit after fees. So I will pay up for the turquoise and the bigger sizes because I know that they typically do sell faster. Another very, very fast sale, and so fast, this is one of the ones where you question if you priced it high enough. This one sold in a day. This is Steuben Versailles candlesticks. I found a bunch of them, and they were all comping right at this, but as fast as they sold, I wondered if I might have priced too low. So they sold for 100. I got them in a lot for about 20. So they're about a $65 profit, but a day. Sold really, really fast. These did have the S on the bottom. It's kind of hard to get in pictures. So most of your Steuben pieces will have a very small S etched in on the bottom. We have already gotten positive feedback. So keep your eye out for Steuben, even especially clear. Anything that's Steuben typically is pretty valuable. And does sold in a day. And another one that made me question if I priced too low. I could not find anything like this. This was in a lot that had a bunch of Steiff pieces. So I did question whether it was Steiff or not. You can see I did put the question mark after it. This one is a yellow fox. It's 14 inches. It sold for full price, $99.99 in a day. If you don't know Steiff, definitely keep an eye out. This one did not have a tag, so I was not 100% sure, but it was a very, very fast, good sale. This is another mid sell-through range. This is a Malure Italy 950. So it was a little bit higher sterling content. This one was listed back in May. So about 7 months to sell. It sold for a best offer of $125. I'm about $20 in. So this one's about an $80 profit. This is a really light necklace. It looks like it would be heavy, but these were really, really thin rings. It was super lightweight. I was surprised when I went to pick it up. And this one's a great sale, great profit. And again, the jewelry doesn't take up space, or not a lot of space. So I'm okay with those items taking longer to sell. Another mid-range. This one was listed in April, so 8 months to sell. This is a Hobey etched floral bracelet, and this one sold for full price of $129.99. I paid about $20 for this one, so this one's another $80 profit. It wasn't a jewelry lot. I had to pay up because it had some really high dollar name brands, just like this one. You can see we do show the weight on this one, and great sale, full price, but took 8 months. Next up is another one that was listed back in July, so kind of mid-range, and another one that sold for full price. Now, if you read this, this is a coin purse, and I'm going to show you the measurements. It's absolutely crazy. $130 for this little chainmail purse. Let me show you. Look at this. It is 3 inches by 2 inches, my friends, and sold for over $100. Absolutely incredible sale. I found comps by using Google Lens, and this one took a while, but I am only $5 in. This one's well over $100 profit. Next up, this one was kind of a disappointment when I bought it because it had one of the lights out and that kind of really diminished the value of it. So this is a Swarovski Christmas tree. It had like little LED lights. So there's one here up top that did not light up anymore. And this one sold for $145. I had it listed, I believe, at like $199. They wrote me, offered it, and I'm like, you know what? It's been listed since May. I'm just going to take it. So I am probably about $40 into this one. So it's about an $80 profit. I'm glad to have gotten rid of it because, again, when I purchased it, I had no clue that that top star, the LED was broken and significantly diminished the value of this one. It did have the original box, but that top star is not lit up. So, you know, sometimes when you buy stuff, if you don't test it, and I bought this in an online auction, you just have to accept a little bit less than you expected to get. Next up is another really, really fast sale. This is a Louis Vuitton. This was from my designer buyout where I don't know exact cost in. This one sold for full price in under a month. You can see we do have Reed there in the title. And the designer items are something that I will pay up for because most of them do sell pretty fast. So normally I like to be at like that 10% or so mark as far as when I'm buying. But with these luxury items, I might go up to 20 or even 30%, sometimes even more if they're a really high dollar one. So this one sold for that $150. And you can see here there are black marks that we could not get removed. And this one still sold for $150. And there's also, let me go back. Do you see there's some wear here? So you want to make sure with these designer items that you show any little tiny flaw, because when people are paying up for items, they want to know any little thing that is wrong with it. Up next is another incredible sale, and this is starting the top 3 for the last 2 weeks. This is a Navajo Kingman turquoise, large 2-inch. I did put statement pendant. That just means it's a larger pendant. It's not more petite. And this one sold for $174.99, which was an offer I sent out. I'm about $30 into this. So this is another one that's over $100 profit. This one's close to $110 to $115. Beautiful, beautiful Kingman turquoise and amazing, amazing. Even though it did take a little longer, this one was listed back in July. Next up is another one, and I want to point out the majority of these higher dollar have been that mid-range. This one was listed in June, so 6 months to sell. Did sell for full price at $209.99. It's a Christmas Anushka. Watch for Anushka. They do sell very, very well. This one has Santa on sleigh. They are all hand painted, so they're really, really neat purses. And here you can see the back. The Anushka is very, very easy to see and read. So if you come across these, you'll definitely be able to identify them. I have tried to win a lot of these in auctions, and most of them I end up losing because the price just goes too high. So this one I'm about $60 in, and it is about $100 profit. Highest sale of the last 2 weeks, and I did show this in one of my other what sold videos. This is just too cool of a bag. This is a Radley London, cute little Scotty dog with the mouse. This one sold for $314.99. I paid, I believe, about $100. I wasn't much in, so this one's well over $150, close to a $200 profit. Really, really cute. Got it in an online estate auction. It's in excellent condition. There were no flaws, and we actually had the dust bag as well. You can see it had the little coin purse, and this one was a really great sale, and it sold in under a month. All right, this is not common. I actually have 3 sales in the last 2 weeks at that $50 or higher point on Poshmark. So the first one is this vintage St. John light ivory Santana knit. This is a little crop top. If you do not know, keep your eye out for St. John. That is not St. John's Bay. Do not confuse the two. This one sold for $50, so it's a $40 profit or $40 payout on Poshmark and about a $20 profit. I did pay up for the St. John lot because a lot of the pieces were worth quite a bit more than this one. All right, the second one is this 14 karat white gold Italian 28-inch necklace. This one sold for 75. This one sold pretty fast on Posh. It was a very, very lightweight 14 karat gold. Sold for 75. Payout was 60. I paid 10. So this one's a $50 profit. And the charm is actually sterling silver, but the necklace is 14 karat white gold, Italy. And this one was a great sale on Posh. Jewelry does okay for us on Poshmark. Another fast jewelry sale under a month on Posh. This is a vintage Italian micro mosaic with the twisted edge. This one sold for 50. Payout was 40. I am 10 in, so it is a $30 profit. And this one did have where it could be a brooch or a pendant. And I do make sure I put that in the title when that is the case. And this one was another really, really fast sale. Last up for Poshmark and for the sales is this Louis Vuitton monogram canvas Devol bag, top handle. This one sold for $488, and this one sold in under a month. This is another from my designer bag buyout. There were quite a few of them that are going to be around this $500 mark, so that's what makes that $5,000 investment worth it. But again, it's really hard to put an individual buy cost to these because I don't want to separate it by the count, because a lot of them are lower dollar, and then you've got ones like these closer to 500. But Poshmark is definitely a place that you want to list designer items. All right, my friends, that's the end of the high dollar stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite was. I think my favorite in this one's probably the Radley purse with the little Scotty in the mouse. That one's really, really cute. So I hope that you are having a good new year. I hope your new year's going good. Let me know down in the comments. If you set goals, are you sticking to them? I haven't even started working on mine. I'm not going to lie. But let me know. If you're doing it, brag on it. If you're not, be like me and say we're going to start it really, really soon. And I will see you on the next one.